let's kind of fast forward a little bit, and 77-year-old Gary, and you're in this clip, you're going to be speaking to some guys who are late 50s, early 60s, and at some stage of that contemplation of transitioning from full-time work to something else.
I felt strongly that I wanted my legacy to be one of integrity, high character, and more than anything else, a deep, abiding relationship with Jesus Christ. That's what I wanted to leave to those that were most important to me. And I had to take a look at what were the priorities in my life at age 60, 63. And as I look back on my life, it had developed, didn't start out this way necessarily, but it had developed as God was number one. My wife, Rita, was number two. My family and my children and my grandchildren were number three. My church was number four. And then being purposeful in what I was doing every day in something that I felt I was gifted at was number five. And I don't do very well sitting on the couch, and I didn't want to do that with the rest of my life. I wanted to be purposeful in what I did. I wanted to be involved in something that I felt like I was making a contribution. And I think most of us spend our lives trying to develop our skills doing something, whatever it is. And I felt like it was something that I was effective at. And so why should I not put those experiences, that background that I had developed over the course of 30 years plus, to use? Well, my purpose in life today is I'm deep in my fourth quarter of my life. And my purpose is really to finish my life in a way that honors God, and to be continually involved in doing the things that I'm passionate about and honoring God as I do.
You talked about yourself in your 60s and what you're thinking about. Sitting across the room, guys are going to be listening to this right now. Are going to look at your face on a TV, and they're going to say, Gary, what's one piece of advice you give us in our 50s and 60s about the next 20 years of our life?
Number one is don't retire. Do something you love doing and that you've been passionate about, and that you stay involved. Use the skills that you developed, the expertise, the background that you developed over the course of whatever career you've been involved in, and use it for good. Use it to influence other people for good. And the other thing I think that I'd look back on and say maybe what I would prioritize differently than I did, and that is that I would try to, in my 60s, develop something that I would do for fun with my wife.